Starship complete.
How's it going, guys? Nerf Gun Charlie here, and giving you an update. We're
Station
going to cover
complete.
the playable NPCs, as it were.
Station is under attack.
These are essentially the hidden races. Don't mind the NPCs, the AI. It's trying to attack me, and it can't.
Starship complete.
But these are the hidden
Enemy
races, as
engaged.
you were. These are the NPCs that I'm allowing to be built by you if you can find them. And I'm not going to tell you where you can find them. I'm just going to say they're there. Good luck. So, we've split this up as far as going off of the Klingon Academy lore, as far as who possibly could be allied with one another to some degree or another. Taking a little leeway here, but I wanted to give some uniqueness to it. So, if you were playing as the Federation or the Gorn, you have access to the Hydrons. So this is their standard shipyard. It's built off of a hidden construction vessel, and it's the only thing it can build, as you can see. And you got access to the Hydron Regent destroyer. You've got access to the Duke class and the Monarch, as you can see here.
Enemy engaged. Station is under attack.
So you get the Regent. It's armed with fusion beams and the Gatling phasers, which the Gatling phasers were using a modification, just a slightly modified version of the Federation pulse phaser. You've got the Duke class, which has got the photon cannons. It's got the standard Gatling phasers, and there was one other weapon that they have.
Station is under
fusion ball
attack.
launchers, if I remember correctly. Let me see here. I'm looking this up because I coded this, and then I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a very long day, so I apologize. Hellbore cannons, that's what it is. So they've got a photon cannon, they've got their Gatling phasers, and they've got Hellbores, which I'll show those off shortly. And then this is photon cannons and Hellbore cannons, your Gatling phasers, and fusion beams. So,
armed and ready.
We'll have them attack this shipyard real quick.
Armed and ready.
This is what the Regent looks like firing.
Enemy engaged.
So as you can see, just beams.
Station is under attack.
Armed and ready.
Various types.
All sections on standby.
I'm probably gonna blow up this shipyard. I really don't want to do that. We'll fire on this thing. On the Monarch. That's and those orange pulses were the Hellbores.
Helm. Awaiting orders.
And here we go.
Full stop.
So as you can see,
Alter
they're
course.
quite powerful. The way I've balanced these is the Regent is roughly a lighter version of the Armada. I did the Duke class roughly equivalent to like the Lexington class for the Federation, and then this is equivalent to the Yamato. So you've got some good balance there. They do cost the same. They, and have similar weaponry and damage outputs. So it is quite well worth it to use them. Hold on. Really?
Helm.
Thank you. Oh, construction vessel. So that's what we're dealing with the Federation and the Gorn. They're going to have access to just their shipyard and 3 classes of starship. So that's all we're dealing with. For Federation and Gorn, the Hydrons are your allies. Let's switch over real quick to the Klingons and Romulans and go from there. Alright, and we're back real quick. And we switch over to the Klingons. I've got this set up on the Romulans too. But for the Klingons and Romulans, when you stop it with the cloaking devices. Daggum. When you're dealing with the Klingons and the Romulans, the Hydrons are not friendly. In fact, the Klingons, as far as the lore is concerned, the Klingons took over most of the Hydran royal, space that they originally owned, and the Hydrans had to take that back from them. So they're not going to have any love lost. Same with the Romulans. So we went with a different direction. They have access to the Tholians. So if you're playing as the Romulans or the Klingons, you have access to the Tholian race, and they're a little bit better, slightly. You have their Tholian shipyard, and you have access to their starbase. Now, the only way to get the shipyard, you have to build the starbase, which will give you a Tholian spinner. And once you build the shipyard, you have access to 3 starships for this era. The Sapphire, the Ruby, and the Amethyst. So this is roughly built, if I'm not mistaken, around the Aquila Miranda area, so your destroyer. The Ruby is roughly built to equal your Constitution refits and Katingas. And then this is roughly built to be equivalent to your Excelsior class. And I roughly went off of that balance, not just based off of the Klingon Academy wiki, but that's also the rough balance that you see in games like Star Trek Shattered Universe that I referenced for the fighter update that we did just a few days ago. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. They're dealing with a lot of triple fire, just because of, they like to have triple fire as far as like their setup. So you're going to see, triple fire pulse cannons or 3 beams being fired, things of that nature. And let's hold on, let me do this number. And yes, I added in the Tholian sounds. Here we go. I gotta fix that torpedo texture a little bit. Ooh. Let's take care of that. I can lower the gamma on the torpedoes, so that's not a big deal. But it gives you an idea. This is what you're going to be dealing with when you're playing as the Klingons and the Romulans. You do have access to Tholian tech to bolster your fleet. And they are balanced comparably to Klingon-Romulan vessels as far as shielding, build times, resources. And we went with the current armaments that I went with. It's visual. They equivalent in the same amount of damage, but I didn't want to overload them with the same amount of weapons per se. And like I said, I got to fix the gamut on the torpedoes so it doesn't look like it's a square. You see that square halo. So I'm just going to lower that a little bit. I can fix that in Photoshop this evening. But that's your playable hidden races. I'm not going to tell you where those construction vessels are, but they're hidden in one of the build lists that's out there. Could be a construction vessel, starbase, shipyard. It could be anywhere in your tech tree. So don't cheat and go to the ODFs and find it. Just look around. But I hid them in purpose because it should not be your primary. This should be like post-game fun. Like you've already got a firm foothold, or you're wanting a little extra oomph. It's kind of just to have some extra fun. They will show up on the mission map. So next video, which I'm already working on now, is the actual NPCs and the combat maps. And currently your NPCs that will show up on the combat maps only are the Lyrans, the Orions, and who else did we do? Did one other race. I swear it's been a very long day, and it's been very hard to remember stuff. It's 10 o'clock at night, but I've been up since 4 a.m. And it'll catch as soon as I look at the file. But we have three NPC races that we're going to install. And I will have them actually remembered by the time we record that video. So, yuck it up in the comments as you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And the idea that we'll probably show one of the maps that I'm making, but the idea is we're going to have a couple of offensive maps and a couple of defensive maps. So you're going to have like 2 or 3 where you're the attacking force, repelling an invasion fleet, or you are weakening defenses of an outpost kind of deal, or border patrol, whatever. And then 2 or 3 that are defense. You are defending an outpost, you're defending a convoy, you're defending a star base, or your border, and an attacking NPC force is coming in. For example, the Federation helping the Hydrans build up a shipyard area. So you're going to have Hydran shipyards and Federation phaser turrets, maybe a Federation monitoring post, and a small array of Hydran and Federation starships. They have to repel a Klingon and Lyran attack force, because the Lyrans are allied with the Klingons, and they both helped fight away the Hydrans. So you might have that as one of your maps where you have to defend, and I'm going to put in the description, like, bonus objective, you've lost no shipyards. Like, you can lose starships, but as long as both shipyards are still there, it's like a bonus achievement, if you will, and I'm using air quotes here and you can't see that. Extra bonus achievement that maybe you keep at least 80% of the starship fleet that you are given. It's going to be things like that. So we're going to only do like 4 or 5 of those. And I'm going to put the resources in where if you want to build the NPCs, if you want to go into the ODFs and add them in, they will be there. But they're not going to be there by default. And I'll talk about that more in the next video. But enough of my rambling. Late night, I need to finish 1 or 2 things, fix this torpedo, and then I am getting some sleep. So that way I can wake up at 3 o'clock and study some more for work and continuing education. But until next time, is Nerf Gun Charlie, and I'm signing off.